So just a show of hands, how many people are familiar with ADM? Okay, this is going to be pretty easy. Yes, we're one of the other large companies in this industry. As I like to say it, though, we are very much a company that connects farmers to the bioeconomy. If you look at what we do, we fundamentally procure grains and either transport those through our own networks, or we bring them into our processing facilities and convert those into the building blocks for the bioeconomy. We also sell those on to food, feed, and fuel customers. But really, it's very much on the industrial side where I focus. I joined ADM about 2.5 years ago when they started to form the Biosolutions Group. And that Biosolutions Group is very much put together to enable this industry. ADM, again, is one of the larger companies here. We're a long-standing US company, started in 1902. Been on the New York Stock Exchange since 1924. Did about $94 billion in revenue last year with our 42,000 employees across 700 plants around the world. But I really want to get to how we impact this industry. And I think about it in 3 ways. We have origination, processing, and enablement. On the origination side, we're connecting the farmer to this growing market. We're very much working with them to bring them into our established supply chain networks, but we're also working with them to help improve their sustainability overall. On the processing side, we do that first step conversion. So you can't do much with that ear of corn, right? Many of you need it to get to that next step before you can do anything with it. And we bring that into our large-scale processing facilities and then be able to transport those goods throughout the country and throughout North America. On the enablement side, and I think this is where many of you may be interested, we have a lot of different things where you can engage with ADM. We do direct investment. We set up over-the-fence partnerships. We can be a production partner. We can also help provide market access. And I'll get into some of these in a minute. If I think about the origination, one of the key things that we're doing is working with the farmers on regenerative agriculture. So we've established a program to work with them and get them paid for regen ag practices. And for those who aren't familiar with regen ag, some very key tenets here. Maintaining living roots in the soil, rotating your crops, no-till practices because we want to keep the carbon in the soil, continuously covering all the bare soil to make sure when you have rain you don't have erosion. And we also work with them to make sure that they're responsibly managing the inputs such as nitrogen and water. And this is a win-win throughout the value chain. Our farmers get paid because our brand owners are requesting it. Our brand owners get the benefit of a lower carbon intensity feedstock that comes to them, and we're able to pass that Scope 3 reduction straight through the value chain. And since 2023, we've been able to sign up over 2.8 million acres across 8 countries around the world. That includes 12 different crops, including all the major ones, your corn, wheat, and soy. And through these programs, we've been able to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions 310,000 metric tons in 2023. We're very excited about this program. We're continuing to expand it. We're signing up more acres, working with more farmers. We're planning to have 5 million acres in the program by 2025. If I think about the processing side, we have 3 of the 5 largest corn wet mills in the world. And although we're a global company, it's really here in the Midwest, right? It's here. You can see the purple dots, and you can see where we're located, Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, and even right here in Nebraska. This is the core of this bio-based feedstock that we need to make this industry go. When we do that conversion, we get at those primary things that you need to make your business work. The saccharides, the oils, the proteins, ethanol. Those are the things that you're going to need to transform into the goods you're trying to make. And we can ship those through our terminal network throughout North America. But we're not just resting on our laurels. I mean, we're a well-established company, but we're continuing trying to improve our sustainability. And you can look at one of our sustainability reports which we put out annually. And I was thinking about that as I was getting ready for our discussion today. One of the title of our sustainability report is Scaling Impact. And that's really what we try to do. We try to take the scale that we have and project that impact across the crops that we process. Just in 2023, we had 59 different projects. Those projects were able to save 280,000 tons of CO2 just on efficiencies. That helps our Scope 1, Scope 2. But we're also one of the first companies to have a carbon capture and storage facility. And we have the advantage in the Illinois basin. It's perfect for carbon capture and storage. In the Illinois basin, we have a porous sandstone layer that's over a mile deep, and it's capped by 3 different shale layers that you can see on the graphic. This has been in service for, I think, over 10 years now, and it's been 4 million metric tons of CO2 captured just with that one well. We're now expanding this. We have some updated power generation that's coming into our Decatur facility, and we're going to be able to capture the carbon off of that. And actually, I said 2 million here, but it's really 3 million metric tons of CO2 that will be captured off that power facility, benefiting our Decatur facility. If I think about on the enablement side, we have a lot of different ways we can partner. We have manufacturing opportunities where we can take technology into our own facilities and help produce that for the companies. We can engage in joint ventures. We have a vast R&D network that can support a lot of the startups and technology development. And we can also set up something like over the fence. And we have a great example here, a company called Solugen. They've been in the press quite a bit lately, at least in my LinkedIn feed. I see them all the time. They've just recently broke ground on a 500,000 square foot facility that's going to be just adjacent to our Marshall, Minnesota plant. We'll provide them dextrose, and they'll produce their bio-based chemicals. But we also now are looking at how we can partner in the market on the commercial side. One of the other key areas that we're focusing is on the precision fermentation process. And it's kind of a broad brush on the industry. But when we look at precision fermentation, we really see that as some of the things that are enabling these key markets that have been talked about already. The home personal care, agriculture, animal nutrition. And we can bring those technologies again into our facilities, produce them, and help these companies get to market. This is really an end-to-end solution. So if you think about what I talked about before, we have kind of the vast different ways to partner, whether it's just helping you make a product and then you go sell it, helping you get to a market where you can't access, provide feedstock, obviously, that's one of our key things. But we also have this end-to-end service as well. And what many people may be looking for is just direct investment. And we have what we call our ADM Ventures group. So ADM Ventures, it's our internal in-house capital arm. And that does the direct investment in the startups. It can also partner with venture capital firms. It can help to bring our portfolio companies closer into ADM so they can access some of our resources. And I'll just give you an example of a few of the engagements we've had recently. On the human nutrition side, we have a company that's producing a fungi-based protein. Health and wellness, we talked about some of these AI-driven insights. Well, we're trying to invest in that as well and getting these AI-driven insights to what plants can do. Animal nutrition, this is a fermentation company that's doing complete proteins. Working with a company that's providing bio-services. We talked about this kind of trouble in the pilot scale. Well, we're helping to fund that as well. So you see government support, but you also see private companies supporting this. And then again, we're always connected to our farmers. And so we want to help empower them with some data-driven insights, and that can help on the regen ag side. So we have a pretty broad team here. They are very much spanning what ADM does. So if you're looking for support here, we've set up a meeting area. We have Preeti, who's working if you need direct sales, direct product. We have Sunitha, who's working a lot with our strategic manufacturing and over-the-fence agreements. And then Tom, who I think he just left the room. He's very much end-to-end support, as well as working with the direct investment in the ADM Ventures. Good. Thank you very much.